Yes, guys, I'm Si. Welcome to Cardiff City World for a little preview of Cardiff City versus Stoke. Both teams aiming to avoid unthinkable relegations to the third tier of English football. Cardiff City and Stoke will battle it out at the Cardiff City Stadium on Saturday afternoon in the Championship. City or Bluebirds, should we say, because both City salvaged a point at the end of a less than inspiring display against Preston last time out, whilst Stoke are still reeling from the last-minute heartbreak versus Luton Town. Both teams are in difficult periods, although Cardiff City are unbeaten in 4 games. 3 of those are draws, 1 of them's a win, but Stoke have been in less positive form. They've drawn the last 2 and won 1 but lost 1, but before that they were in a bit of free fall. So it will be interesting to see how they go. Cardiff consistently all season have dropped points when in good positions, leading, etc. This is an issue. Cardiff just have to find a way, but Stoke, or in Cardiff's favour, should I say, Stoke's away form has been absolutely horrific. Cardiff at home, okay. Cardiff's problem has been that they've had too many draws all season, and that's just the theme of the season is late goals, defensive mistakes, and a lot of draws. Cardiff have to find victories. In my opinion, Cardiff City don't win against Stoke on Saturday, I think they're done for this season. I really do. I think if we can beat Stoke and we can beat Oxford, maybe pick up a draw somewhere else, I think we'll be fine. But Stoke and Oxford, the big games, but Stoke specifically, because not only did we move out of the bottom 3, but we dragged Stoke back in to that, right into the relegation battle. Stoke's a bit of an interesting one. Obviously, Mark Robins, the manager, took over earlier this season, has been known to play 3 at the back. Most recently, though, has been using 4-2-3-1 with Stoke. Cardiff obviously beat Stoke in the FA Cup, where both teams made a lot of changes, but Cardiff dominated the centre parts of the field, not with physicality, but with technical ability. The likes of Ruben Colwell, obviously Louis Giles had a good game. There was a couple of other younger players within the squad who did quite well that day. Stoke most likely lining up in that 4-2-3-1 again. I think Johansson in goal, Chishmedi at right back, Bocat left back, Wilmot and Phillips. There is a possibility that former Cardiff City loanee Brown Wilson is fit for this game, but not 100% sure about that. But because they are hoping that they're going to return before the end of the season. It's touch and go. Another person who Cardiff were interested in is Ali Al-Hamidi, who's been a bit of a super sub for Stoke at times this season since he came in on loan. He's a really versatile player, can play left, right, 10, up front. He's a goal scorer, so someone that Cardiff will definitely need to be aware of. It's those wide players which I think could cause Cardiff potential issues. They've got Bai Hun Ho, Kumas, Meinhof, obviously Al-Hamidi can play there as well, and Seko as well up front. There's a few players who could cause Cardiff genuine issues in the wide areas. As I say, at the back 4, I think will be Bocat, Wilmot, Phillips, Chukmedo, Thompson and Berger. And then in the last game, they lined up with Bai Hun Ho on one side and Manhoff in the other. But I actually think they'll go with Bai Hun Ho off the right, and then I think they'll go with Lewis Kumas off the left for the ability and the speed, which will play into what I think Cardiff may do with the right back situation, depending on Perry Ng's fitness. Up front, it's probably going to be Sam Gallagher. I think a slim chance they did bring Kumas on through the middle in the last game for the last 10, but I think Gallagher's the one, and then Baker, who's a real nice player. Lewis Baker's a really, really good player, technically excellent. Takes up some real clever pockets of space. And I think, for me, as much as Lewis Kumas' pace could be a potential issue, and I really like Bai Hun Ho, Lewis Baker, as an all-round footballer, is an incredibly gifted lad, and he could cause all sorts of issues. The Stoke City number 8, technically good, proficient, very good at just those little reverse passes inside the fullback, setting up the likes of Ho and Meinhof and Kumas, Gallagher. In fact, in the FA Cup game, when Lewis Kumas got in behind El Ghazi on that side, that was, I believe, Lewis Baker who played that ball, but I might be wrong. I'm going off my memory, and my memory is not always great. Excuse me, sorry. And look, there's Cardiff got all sorts of injury issues with the likes of Ramsey and Rolls and Alwick all out. El Ghazi, I wouldn't expect to see this the rest of the season. It's very difficult to pick the 11 that Omar Rees is going to pick. Part of me thinks he's going to go and he's going to bring in the Robinsons, the Metes, and kind of go that route. For me, I think Mete is a better option off the bench. Got a knack for picking up goals, and you might need that. He puts himself about, he works hard. And I do quite like the young lads just off Salad. It gives us a bit of pace, especially at home. But most of all, I want to see us really go for it. I want to see us start fast. I don't need to see Chambers and Manswerk as a double pivot. We don't need to have both effectively 2 6s, although Manswerk is a bit more than that. Like, we don't need it. We have to go for the win. Perry NG looks like he might be fit. He's back in training. Will he be fit to start? It's another question. But God, we could do with Perry NG at his absolute tip-top best. You know, phenomenal right back on his day. He's got the shithousery, which we need. He's shown passion for Cardiff City before. At his best, definitely need him. Whether he's able to be at that level due to fitness and things like that, I have no idea. But for me, it's got to be Fish and Darland in the middle. O'Dowd a left back, because simply put, I just think having that attacking option as a left back in this game is going to be important. We've got to get at Stoke. We've got to create chances. We've got to win the football match. And if we go with the assumption that Stoke will play a right-footed player off the left, I'd actually go with Joel Bagan at left. This was suggested by someone earlier in the week. I think it was Reese, actually, in the chat. But it makes a lot of sense having that left footer, because the Kumas or the right-footed winger on the left is turning into his stronger foot. Defensively, Joel Bagan's very sound. His right foot is not like some left-footed players where it's a bit of a swinger. He is capable of using it, albeit it is his weaker foot. If Perry NG's fit, then Perry probably goes in there, doesn't he? Or Renamoto if he's fit. I don't know what the fitness situation is with either. But if both are out, or both aren't capable of starting, I don't really have an issue with going with a Bagan. I don't normally want to play left-footed right back, but I think for this particular instance, with the skill set of the wingers that Stoke have, makes a bit of sense to have a left footer out there. I don't want to see Fish out there. I know he can play there. Fish has been our best centre back. Darland looks pretty sharp since he's come back. Gutas didn't look great the other day. So Fish and Darland are my centre backs. Worst case scenario, I suppose, if you didn't want to go with Bagan and the other two were out, you could go with Chambers at right back. In the midfield area, I'm going to take a bit of a gamble. I kind of went over in my head, do we go Chambers, do we go Manswerk, which one offers the most? Chambers is an out-and-out 6. He sits, just dictates the tempo, moves the ball, wins the tackles. Manswerk is a bit of an all-round midfielder. He can carry the ball, pass it, but he's very combative. I've gone for a midfield 2 of Manswerk and Robertson. And then further up the pitch, this was tricky because I didn't think Keir Ashford had his best game against Preston. But I think, generally speaking, he's been very good this year. He works hard. He's pacey. But I also quite like Isaac Davis off the right as well. Will Alves has done well of late. Ruben Colwell had a very poor game against Preston North End. So it's where do you go with those three? Yusuf Salas is the striker first and foremost. I think that's it. So you've got Robertson, you've got Mansberg, who we putting in the 10 and the wide positions. We've got to win the football match. So I'm going Isaac Davis to start. I'm going with Will Alves. Isaac Davis one side, Will Alves the other. And then it's just a straight choice between Ruben, Keane Ashford, or Callum Robinson. I don't really like Callum Robinson in the 10. And as tempted as I am to play 4-4-2, I think that would be a mistake because we'll get overrun in midfield. And you have to be slightly aware of what Stoke are good at. They're good in the central areas. I'm really struggling for the choice, really struggling. I think if you go on most recent form, there's probably got to be Keane Ashford in the 10. If you go on historically and what players they can be capable of on their best day, I'd probably go with Ruben in the 10. Ruben with Robertson behind was also very productive for us earlier in the season. And, Di Turnbull's very unfortunate to not feature because Turnbull, Robertson and Ruben as the three were probably our most productive three midfielders at the same time. So that's also an option. But I think Mansberg, for his combative nature, has probably earned a spot within the 11. And then you build it around him. Alex Robertson's little cameo against Preston changed the game for Cardiff and gave us a bit of technical ability, breaking lines, plays the ball in for Meite. And don't get me wrong, Meite, Robinson, Turnbull, they're probably very unlucky to miss out. That's what I would go with. I don't think that's what the manager will go with, but will remains to be seen because he likes to tinker. You guys, let me know what you think. For me, the key man is going to be Sivert Mansberg. He's coming up to his last few games at the Cardiff City Stadium now, as his loan comes to an end. I think he's been excellent. I really like his attitude. I really like his black boots. I really like the way he goes about his business. He's a real old school throwback midfielder who's everything, which is what a midfielder used to have to do. You used to have to defend, get forward, pass the ball, tackle, header. You have to be able to do everything. He's a real throwback. I really enjoy him. I really, really like him. And if we stay up, I hope we try and bring him back next year. But he's the key man for me because he's going to have to do the role of the number 6 with Chambers not being in there for me. And now that's obviously my side. And that allows Alex Robertson to find those pockets. I also wouldn't be against playing Sivert Mansberg as like a deep line midfielder with Alex Robertson and Ruben Caldwell as two midfielders next to him as 2 8s. Be very okay with that as well. So, but yeah, it'll be interesting what Omar Risa kind of goes with. I suppose is who could guess? I wouldn't be shocked to see a 4-4-2. I think we've got to go for it. Most of all, start fast. Get the crowd up and behind you because I do think it'll be a good crowd. I do think people will turn out in their numbers. It's up to the players and the manager to make it start fast and make it good. Get that crowd pumping, get that crowd really up for it because then the atmosphere is going to be sensational. And then we've got a chance. As I said, Cardiff get 3 points on Saturday. I believe we'll stay up. Keep the faith, my friends. I apologise for the short preview. Still not feeling great, and I'm doing my best to stay at hospital and make sure I would like to get to the game tomorrow, but we'll see. So yeah, things will be back to normal soon, but I appreciate you all. Thank you very much. Take care. See you in a bit.